All right. So, good afternoon. Oh, look at that, Irie Spice. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Journey Across the Caribbean. Today, I have with me Chef Irie, Andrew Sinclair. And notice the similarities in the name. This is my cousin, so we're going to capitalize on this part here. So
Of
Chef
course.
Irie right now is joining us from Miami, Florida, but he is originally from Kingston, Jamaica. And Chef Irie is going to tell us a little bit about himself, how he came about becoming Chef Irie and his Irie Spice Inc. company. So please, Chef Irie, take it away for us.
Goodness gracious. Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Wherever in the world you are listening to, or joining this Zoom. Thank you, Miss Janet, for, the invite to come on here and, as they say, cut it up with y'all. Yeah, I'm like right in the middle, I thought I was gonna be home, by 5, but the days sometimes never turn out the way you want them to. So I'm on the road actually in between stores shopping for clients, and that's not an everyday vibe for me, but when I do have clients and events, that is part of the preparation leading up to event day. Before, after you've finalized your proposals and contracts and stuff, there becomes prep day and shopping day. And this is shopping and prep day for clients that we have this weekend. And so it's kind of interesting, being, when you're being as a chef, as opposed to private chef, as opposed to, chef in a restaurant, hotel, resort and stuff like that. So if you don't have a venue space, basically you're out doing your shopping. So if you don't have a venue space where trucks and purveyors and vendors can pull up and deliver, you gotta go shop. Unless you're doing you have a private gig, with a private client, and maybe you can have stuff delivered to your client's place of residence, and it's all good. But yeah, as Miss John said, born in Kingston. So I kind of sort of claim Kingston only when I have to. But I didn't grow up in Kingston, but Kingston is cool, because it's part of Jamaica and lots of great things happen in Kingston. I went to school in Kingston, high school. I went to Calabar High School. Um, but I grew up in the parish, next to Kingston, going towards the west of the island, which is St. Catherine. And for me, that was, loads of fun. I know not too many people I know can say they grew up on a sugar planting estate. And so
Oh,
Kimanas, yes, so Kimanas Estates is where I grew up, and I grew up around cane fields. And for me, that meant eating sugar cane during the summer, outside of summer, when you have holidays like right now. I probably eat some sugar cane right now, because we're out of school. Mangoes, are on the property, apples, just everything you can find is there. Fishing, so for me, growing up as a kid was definitely, cool. And my as I said, my dad worked for the company. He was a bookkeeper for the company, and my mother was a serial entrepreneur, homemaker slash everything that you want to name her, and she was very good at it too.
how many
Um,
jobs does she have?
my mom is, she probably didn't say she had jobs, but she could tell you a little bit a thing or two about everything. But one of the main things that she did do, she was a seamstress. That was her trade, when she was younger, and she stuck with that. She was trained in Kingston to be a seamstress. And so, throughout her life, she's done, she did a lot of things. She's no longer with us now, but she did a lot of things, where she was making things for a lot of people, making and sell, set up shop, and it was awesome. And I just remember at times I used to be her little mannequin. Yes, thank you very much.
How many jobs do you have?
Oh man. So um, you know, for me now as a chef, the chefing is my pretty much only job really. I don't know if I consider it a job, but it is what I do, the catering, private chefing. So within being a chef, there are different aspects of clientele that I typically have. So I could have private chef, um, private clients, and and events catering, weddings, birthdays, you name it, we can have those. And one of the clientele that's like this weekend, they're coming in for the weekend. So people who are coming into town renting Airbnbs or sometimes suites and hotels want to do events. So this particular client, I will have them all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm doing dinner for them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So within the scope of the chef world, we do many different things. Um, so prior to becoming a chef, um, I went to school in Gainesville, the University of Florida, and I
Okay.
studied I studied architecture. Yes.
What a
So
difference.
yeah, it's a difference in terms of what it is that you're producing, but it was a very good discipline, and it helped me to make that transition to another great discipline, culinary arts. So I graduated with a degree in architecture, Bachelor of Design, and I worked for a few years. And while I was working towards the end, started realizing that I wasn't really wanting, the drive to finish up, to go and get the other part of the degree, thinking, okay, once you've done that, you have to intern, you have to do this, and you have to take all these exams and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. And I was like, no, you don't want to do that. And, you can tell inside yourself, when your spirit tells you, you know, and sometimes a lot of us, fight, a lot of things that we should make decisions quick on, and we let it sit and fester and all that good stuff when we could have made a quicker decision sooner. And I said, you need to do something else. And I went and researched, and because I knew I had to go back to school. And but then I started going back to listening and conversations that I had with friends in college. And when in college, I used to cook, food for friends and stuff, Easter, the times when you have these breaks in between semesters, or, in semester breaks,
Yes.
and cook, and they'll come over and we do like a whole spread. I remember one Easter we did, all kind of stuff. On my roommate at the time, he loved to cook too. He was from Suriname. So we did some Surinamese food, we did some Jamaican food, and we just laid it all out. And all the friends that came over, everybody was like, who catered? I'm like, who catered? No, we cooked.
There you go. There
Yeah,
you
we
go.
cooked. Yeah, so
All the flavors.
yeah,
What
all the
is your what
flavors.
is
Yeah.
when you're cooking, and if you're just cooking for friends, like a regular, kind of
Mhm.
laid back kind of meal, what's your favorite thing to cook?
I don't know if I have when it's stuff like that, I don't know if I have a favorite thing to cook per se. Um, because we're basically, you know, especially if we can find something if it's something that's pre-planned, like way ahead of time, then you can say, all right, let's put a really cool menu together, and we try to do, like a global cuisine aspect, to what we're going to do, um, oftentimes with a little Caribbean or Jamaican influence in what we're doing. But
Yeah.
sometimes we just go off script. And I remember about a month ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, let's get, come on down to the house. I'm like, yeah, sure. I was like, you know what? I have a pork butt in the fridge. Uh, let's put this pork butt on the grill. Let's invite some people over. Let's put some other things together with this pork butt, and let's have some vino, some fellowship, break bread, and just hang. And that's what that was. It was
That
very
sounds
impromptu.
amazing,
I
right?
know, right? Yeah. So, season that bad boy up, cut him up in pieces. And we went and we put those pieces on the grill. We were drinking. We had a little bar set up. People came over. Some people I hadn't seen in a minute came over. So usually when we're doing like that, it's very impromptu, very casual, which is kind of, is in a way a lot how I cook.
Hmm.
There's a casualness about it, but there's how would you say, uh not scripted, but there's an outline, for what you want to do,
Okay.
so it's not chaotic, um but it has structure, and I should be able to free, as you say, free spirited, cooking. So yes, and if I'm gonna make jerk chicken, that's what it is. But I was like, okay, maybe I can make jerk chicken and add some tamarind sauce, because that's a signature dish of mine. Or maybe I can make some guava sauce, or so whatever is in the fridge, oftentimes will will get combined, and then people will ask you for recipes. I'm like, recipe, man, we just made this stuff today.
It's like you season food and you listen to the ancestors that say that's enough, child.
Exactly, exactly.
Just go with it. Who writes
Just
down
go with it.
recipes?
Yeah, so now when they ask me for recipes like that, especially the things that you're just really freestyling it. I gotta go home, and especially if it was a really good recipe, so you gotta go home now, and the good thing is I can remember it. I can remember what I did, and so now it's just a matter of writing it down, um putting some structure to it, and then make sure it's on paper, or
Mhm.
these days on the computer. So prior to because last year, so we can always backtrack a little bit, some of the things that we've done as a chef. So being a chef has afforded me the opportunity to do a lot of things, besides traveling, traveling with clients, traveling for a client, traveling for events, traveling within the state of Florida, outside of the state of Florida, outside of the country. um, but one of the biggest things that we've done is to host Taste the Islands, which was the first Caribbean cooking show on American public television, also picked up by Create TV and local PBS stations around the country. And we had 2 seasons of that show, and that was phenomenal. And the cookbook for that show came out last year, for all the recipes, ones
Okay.
that I created, that I created for the first season, and the second season myself and Chef Tia, who's from Haiti. All those recipes. The book is out. You can get the book on Amazon. Sorry, I don't have a book with me today. It's called Taste the Islands, uh, a culinary
Taste
adventure in a Caribbean
Islands.
kitchen. Yes, Taste the Islands.
Okay, let me see if I can put this in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Taste the Islands.
A culinary adventure in a Caribbean kitchen.
Every adventure, a culinary adventure in a Caribbean kitchen.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that was one, huge, accomplishment. We're very proud of it. I've represented Jamaica, in different aspects, culinary wise. We had a contingency of chefs that represented Jamaica at the James Beard House in New York, a few years ago. And I was also on another team that did some good work at the United Nations building in New York as well. So we've done some different things. I'm also a part of the Jerk Festival, the Great Jamaica Jerk Festival here in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
So that comes up in November. So for those of you who are out there and you want to go eat some jerk pork, jerk chicken, jerk ice cream, jerk everything, November 14th
Jerk
here
ice
in,
cream.
yeah.
I've heard of that, but I've yet to taste it.
So one of the things that, it's very good, and, some people say, well, you can't jerk ice cream and you can't jerk this and you can't jerk. So I think, and this is not just a sort of gross opinion, if you would, but I think we should be mindful in how we are using terminologies, for food. And of course, no, you can't jerk ice cream on the grill. So I think in terms of how we describe things, so you can say jerk ice cream, maybe you should say, jerk style ice cream, jerk style fried, jerk style rice, jerk, because naturally you can't do the process of jerk for a lot of these things. So it's basically ice cream that's flavored, with jerk seasoning, you know. See, if you're doing some jerk fried rice, basically you're just adding jerk seasoning to these ingredients. Stuff like the proteins and the vegetables and stuff like that. Now you're really doing authentic style jerk, because that stuff has to go over flame, heat, and smoke, and cook very slowly. And
I
that's a
am getting
process.
so
That's a process
hungry.
jerk.
I'm getting so hungry.
Right.
I
So
love my
yeah.
jerk chicken. My jerk
Yeah,
and
so
my curry
yeah, jerk
chicken. I
chicken, man.
love it.
Yeah, jerk, curry chicken, I kind of dig curry chicken, but you know what? I kind of dig curry chicken, um, when I was as a kid, and you could have curry chicken back. I'm sorry, folks. These are memories of mine, not because I was like dirt poor or anything. But when you're with your friends and people and them, the old colloquial term, we're going to run a boat. And for those of you who do not know, that meant friends or family get together and impromptu, we're going to cook some food. All right. And that could
They
be
called it run a boat.
run, run a boat. We're going to run a boat. So the beautiful thing
Run
about
a
running, yeah,
runabout.
a boat, like in a ship,
A
a boat,
ship. Okay.
like run a boat.
Run
Yes.
a boat. Okay.
And basically that just meant we're going to, impromptu do a cook up. So, and we're going to use whatever we have on hand. And usually, it was always people in your neighborhood, in your community, your friends, and you got what you had, whether you could afford for a lot of people. So if that meant small pieces of chicken, whether it's a chicken back, chicken, whatever it is that you have, sawfish, whatever, mackerel, salted mackerel. You make some dumplings. Maybe you can find some yam. Maybe you can find some rice. Whatever anybody had, we gonna cook it. And once everything is cooked, whoever is there is going to eat. And
And
there
we
always seems to
call
be,
it
yes,
potluck. Whatever you
potluck, right,
whatever
right.
you find, let's do it.
Let's do it. So the beautiful thing about this whole run a boat thing is that it could happen anytime. So this could be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or this could be at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. you know, you're out playing dominoes, whatever it is. I was just like, yo, man.
My kind of party.
Yeah, we hungry. Let's find something to eat, because there's no place around that's gonna sell you some food. Mm-hmm. So guess what? You're gonna make some food.
There you go. That's the way to do it. So you said you travel for clients. Clients will fly you to wherever.
Yes, they'll fly you to events, either whether it's for them personally, or to fly to do an event for them, or to be part of an event. So that could be a corporate sponsored event or a privately sponsored client. So yes, you go and they put you up, and you go and you take care of business. So my knives are always ready to go. My passport is up to date. So,
that's important.
Yes, most definitely.
That's very important.
Yeah, most def. And part of the traveling process too, as a chef is not, when oftentimes we've gotten invited to participate in culinary events abroad, and sometimes a lot of those for me has taken place in other Caribbean islands, so I've been, um, Haiti, BVI, Bahamas, St. Lucia, to do events, and so whether it's food and wine, whether it's rum and food, St. Croix, big ups to all these people, all my friends from all these islands. So like I said, my knives, my talent, my skill, has taken me to different places, and I'm really, really, really appreciative and grateful that not only did I make the choice to do something different with my life other than pursuing architecture, but I'm just glad that I'm able to tell my story one ingredient at a time on a plate. So for me, that's
Yes.
like the be all end all for everything.
And I first saw you when Task, for those of you who don't know, Task is a Facebook page that I am on. It's a group for travel advisors, and it stands for Travel Advisors Selling the Caribbean. And
Yes.
last year, Task did this whole big thing where they took us around the Caribbean, and we had chefs from all over. And Chef Irie caught my attention because we share the same last name,
And
and
there you
we're
go.
from Jamaica. So I have
Yeah,
been
awesome,
following
man.
Chef Irie since. And let me tell you, folks, to see some of his plates, oh my gosh, amazing. And you could just, like you said, he tells the story on a plate, one ingredient at a time, and you could smell the aromas, and you could taste the flavors. He knows how to plate some food. So if you're in Miami, you've got to connect with Chef Irie, and I'm going to have to come down there because I've got to get you to cook something for me. Definitely. And Chef Irie, I think, has frozen on us here. We'll see if he can, if his connection comes back for us. But in the meantime, in the chat, I have posted Chef Irie's cookbook is called A Culinary Adventure in a Caribbean Kitchen. And his cookbook can be found on Amazon. You can also follow Chef Irie on Twitter. It's at Chef Irie. On Instagram, his handle is I am Chef Irie. And unfortunately, I think we've lost Chef Irie. I'm going to give it a minute and see if he comes back. But folks, if you're in the Miami area, if you're planning on being there and staying there, as he said, people travel and they have an Airbnb or they have a suite in a hotel or something somewhere. Check out Chef Irie. If you follow my page, like and subscribe it, A Journey Across the Caribbean. And also on Facebook at Nefertiti Travel Consultant. I will put this in the chat as well. But please follow me. And if you need to be connected, or if you'd like to be connected with Chef Irie, I will make sure that his information is available to you. And here I'm going to put in the chat. On YouTube, I am Journey Across the Caribbean. Please like, subscribe. Oh, Chef Irie is coming back to us. Here we go. We're going to admit him back again. Chef Irie is connecting with us again. Oh, we kind of lost you for a minute, Chef Irie, but you're back. You
Yeah,
came back.
I'm back. Yeah, it seemed as if my phone was overheating, so it just cut everything off.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry about that. I know it
that's all
must be
right.
hot in Miami, and you were sitting in your car.
Yes, I was sitting in the car, but it's all good. It's all good. Technology, tells us it has a way of doing certain things. So,
Yes. But Chef Irie, I put in the chat, I put your book title, and I also put your Twitter and Instagram handles.
okay.
And I have invited people to buy your book and to check you out on Twitter and Instagram.
Oh, that'd
And
be awesome. That's great.
what about Facebook, Chef Irie?
You can follow me at also at Chef Irie, the business page is Chef Irie. You should be able to pull that up. That's awesome. Or Hugh Sinclair on Chef Irie, one of the two. So yeah, that's the whole social media gamut.
Okay.
So let everybody, and also, for people following, other things that I do participating. I'm also on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. It's a syndicated radio show here. Ricky Smiley, known all over the world now.
Yes.
So I'm on his show every other Friday, and my Friday will to be on the show is this Friday, tomorrow. So
Okay.
between 9:30 a.m. and about 9:45 around there. Quarantine cooking with Chef Irie, and I come on and just talk about a dish that I prepared, and I tell you where you can go catch the video of the demo, and
And that
everything is
is
everything.
on YouTube.
He does put it up on his YouTube pages as well. So I'm working on getting all of the links so I can start uploading them to my YouTube page and
Okay.
my website as well, chefirie.com. So yeah.
Oh, well, please share those links with me and we'll make sure that we get it out there because I want everyone to follow you. I want people to come see you for their authentic Jamaican Caribbean food. And we've just got to share the love with you, Chef Irie.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate representing just not myself but Jamaica, and with Task and all the lovely people that I met on Task, the coordinators and also the chefs there. Some people I reconnected with, and met some new people, new friends, the chefs. Definitely want to make sure I try to do a better job of staying in touch. And sometimes we get so busy, we don't keep in touch with people that are, that we want to keep in touch with. So if I haven't, reached out to anybody in a little bit, I'll try to do that soon. But yeah, food is life, and life is food, and whenever you can
Food
get
is
the
love.
opportunity, yeah, food is love, food is life. So whenever you can get some food and fire experiences, to bite into, yeah, definitely do that, man. When you can break bread with some friends, definitely do that.
Amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Chef Irie, I so appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join me on a journey across the Caribbean. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Awesome, awesome, friends. For those of you who are planning any trips, make sure to visit those islands. I'm thinking about, visiting one of the smaller islands that I've never been to. Hopefully, sometime this year, maybe next year.
Where have
But
you
let
never
people.
been?
There's quite a few islands that I have never been. Antigua, St. Martin, St. Vincent. I definitely might go to St. Vincent for Carnival.
St.
Yep,
Vincent?
yeah,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I never been to Grenada because I don't want to go to Grenada so I can go jump. I want to get.
My first carnival outside of Boston Carnival was Trinidad Carnival.
Aye,
I
yes,
played
wow,
mass 2 years in a row
yes,
with Barbarossa, and they won. They won Band of the Year 2 years in a
yes,
row.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I was in Trinidad 2011. Yeah, and needless to say, I lost my mind.
not hard to do. It's not hard to do.
Most stuff. So hopefully I get a chance to visit some more of the islands. and friends that I've met along the way,
And
and get to be
I've got
reacquainted
a
at home.
couple of connects for you in St. Vincent. I'll take care of you. Got you.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, ma'am. So appreciate the invite. Thanks for being on here, and everybody,
Thank
hope
you
you have a
so
great
much.
evening and a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Chef Irie. Again, I appreciate you and all that you do. So folks, you have it. You have seen him, the infamous Chef Irie, right here on Journey Across the Caribbean with Nefertiti Travel Consultant. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see everybody again soon. Chef Irie, thank you so much.
All right,
Take
my
care.
man.
One love, Chef Irie. One love.
One love, one love. Peace out.
All right. Good night. Good night, everybody.